when you cross that line, there's a sense of wanting to be better and be your best.
JP Duminy is a well-known international cricketer with a massive scoring average who come from humble beginnings on the Cape Flats. Let's go find out how JP transitioned from international fame to humble servanthood. Now in sport,
Yeah.
it's all about being better. If you think about it, you get in the ring, you get on the field, you need to beat someone. So a whole lot of that conversation that you need to have with yourself is, I'm better than this guy, I'm better than this bowler, I'm going to knock this guy. And so I look at that and I look at how I define pride. Pride for me is, I'm better than. So, you know, if I had to face a bowler, I need to tell me, I'm better than this guy, I'm going to knock him. And I think people that perform in sport are probably the guys that are faced with pride more than anyone else. And if you do not develop some methods for yourself to remain balanced in your view of yourself, you're gonna become a person that consistently thinks that you're better than others. And it possibly comes out in your marriage, in your relationship with your kids. So if you can just think back at the time when you performed really at the top of your career, you needed to tell yourself, I'm better than this guy, and then you did it. But then you get off the field. How did you bring that balance back?
So that's the defining point you make there towards the end, when you get off the field. And I think that is the defining moment in whether that pride is gonna really take hold of your heart or not. So yes, there's obviously when you're in battle, when you cross that line, there's a sense of wanting to be better and be your best. And yes, there's a potentially a certain body language that gets shown, a sort of self-talk that happens for sure. But I worry if that self-talk is consistent off the field, because that is in itself where the humility needs to show. And I almost want to say that humility needs to show even more when you're losing. So what I mean by that is, let's paint a picture, right? So somebody gets the wood over me in a game. Let's say I'm a batter, a bowler, nicks me off consistently over a series. And all of a sudden now, what happens is possibly after a series, we having a beer together or cool drink a coffee together as a team, and all of a sudden you're having a conversation. Are you going to be man enough and strong enough to be able to have that conversation and say, you know what, you're too good for me?
Yeah.
And be sincere about that, because that's what happened on the field. But off the field, I can be who I am and say you were better than me at that moment and have a conversation about it. But if I can't sit in his company and once say those things and also reflect that in my heart, then that's a worrying factor for me. Now I say that with the fact, knowing that I could never always do that. But I, particularly towards the back end of my career, I would say that developed more through maturity, through various relationships with people, conversations, my relationship with God, understanding that it's one thing, you know, operating a certain way on the field, but off the field, I need to reflect it. And how does that look? And that's why I say it can so deeply be defined by failure or perceived failure or not getting the wood over somebody else. Yeah.